So I didn't know that Alex Honnold was going to ascend Taipei 101 until like a couple days before. So I was really excited to see if he could take on and achieve this like incredible feat. And then I remembered watching Free Solo and I was like, of course, this is going to be like a cakewalk compared to that for him. So finally got a chance to sit down and see it. I did not see it live because my parents were in town. We were out doing other things. But yeah, this is a fantastic like cinematic achievement and physical achievement. Clearly, I wouldn't say this is like an amazing movie because it's not really a movie. It's more of like us engaging with something with someone as he's doing something quite amazing, something that statistically speaking, 100% of us will never be able to do. So let's talk about Skyscraper live. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Before we get started, click on the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you know when I post new content. Okay, if you haven't seen Free Solo, it's fantastic. It's the movie that turned Alex Honnold into a household name. It won the Academy Award for Best Documentary, and it's really fantastic. In that, Honnold climbs Free Solo, El Capitan. Free Solo means it's just you, no harness, no gear. I mean, you have gear, but no ropes. You have your chalk, you have your shoes, and you have you. And that's basically it. And when he did it, it was incredible. I mean, it's 3,000 feet tall. It's like a sheer rock face. And he managed to just do it. And it got documented, and there was drones and cameras and all of this stuff. And it's really a remarkable film. So if you haven't seen that, you definitely should. So now he talks about how he's always wanted to ascend a skyscraper, essentially climb a huge building. And Taipei 101 ends up being kind of the perfect fit for that. And watching him live and in person, sit down with the camera crew, talk to the people at Netflix, do the interview, talk about how he's going to be listening to music, and he's got a microphone so we can hear what he's saying, and he can kind of interact with the producers and his wife and all this stuff. It's really tremendous, and seeing it all like directly happen, every single second of it is truly remarkable and amazing. And I think it kind of like sets a standard for this type of thing going forward. I think this is a tremendous cinematic achievement. And Netflix really did pull out all the stops for it. So essentially the movie starts off with them talking to Alex's wife, giving some backstory. We now know that he's done this incredible achievement in El Capitan. And then we just get right to it, and he ascends this thing, and there's a clock, and there's like a little scale in the corner that shows the building, and then a little dot, and that's where he is. Takes just over 90 minutes to get to the top, which is actually like a fairly brisk pace. They actually had to delay it from the day before due to rain and poor weather conditions. But I mean, the mindset that it takes to be able to do something like this is something that so few people actually have. The physical aspect of it is remarkable. I mean, he does this for a living, so he's been climbing surfaces that you can barely get a grip on for his entire life. So the physical part of it is really cool. I think the emotional and like sheer willpower is even cooler. He has this ability to not tone everything out because he's clearly like aware of the crowd when he manages to get like on top of these kind of dragon portions that stick out of the tower. He like stands and waves to the crowd and engages with them. He's like smiling and waving to people who are like watching him from inside the building because this is a public building that is just like open and there's people working there, and it's really like a cool thing to see. I think it's one of those things that everybody should watch. And it's really special. I actually wish more people were talking about it because I think it really can't be understated how physically and emotionally and just cool this whole thing is. So I think this is probably the single greatest physical achievement that we've ever seen in its entirety. I certainly think that the El Capitan climb was more difficult. I mean, it's twice as tall, which when you watch this movie or this live feature, and then you consider and you look at like, oh, this building is really tall, and then you consider that El Capitan is twice as tall, the free solo climb of that mountain face is much more like, I think, much more harrowing and exciting and clearly like a bigger physical feat. But I think as far as things that we've seen in their entirety, this definitely takes the cake. There's also a level of difficulty that's not there like it is with El Capitan. But I think it's cool that all of the hubbub and the cameras and the guys hanging off of cranes and the drones, I think all of that stuff adds a special like tension to it, because this is a guy who doesn't really do things this way. So now he's being asked to like flip his mindset of it's just me in the mountain to it's just me in the building and all of these other ancillary things surrounding it. So it's really cool. I highly suggest you sit down and watch Skyscraper live. It's on Netflix. It's incredible. There's some technical hiccups along the way, you know, microphones cutting out. He loses music at one point. Sometimes he's talking to people and they're cutting out. Like this is stuff that's inevitable with a project of this scope and scale. And I think it will be really cool when we start seeing more things like this in the future, which I think Netflix, they'll look at the success of this and certainly want to do something similar in the future. So shout out to everybody involved. Incredible technical and physical and emotional achievement. It's great. So let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you next Saturday at 9 a.m.